What up, everybody? Welcome to the Awakened Pineal News Network. This is for people who are awakening to their pineal gland and the truth that comes in once you start to clean some things up in your life, especially the body. The body is like the temple. It's like the car where your soul drives around it type of thing. And if it's all screwed up and the oil's dirty and bad, you're going to be breaking down, stuck on the side of the road, or you're going to be like one of those cars driving around with a plastic bag as the window just, you know, and people are just going to be looking at it like, dang, your car's making all these noises and stuff, or you can be smooth gliding, you know, whoosh, like a Mercedes or like a, you know, like a Cadillac too. American cars too. I like the old classic American cars. Some of the new ones are okay. But anyway, let's get into it here today. RFK. What is he doing right now? He's doing some amazing stuff. I'm so happy to be in this time right now to be speaking about these subjects that are so incredible. RFK moves to eliminate GRAS loopholes that allows untested chemicals in food. So GRAS or GRAS is like a loophole. So those are generally recognized as safe. So what he is doing, so basically Big Food is panicking right now because RFK Jr. has just announced that a major move that could shake up the entire food industry. So he's targeting this loophole, a rule that was originally meant to streamline food safety, but has instead exploited to push untested, potentially harmful chemicals in our food supply. Well, that's not a big surprise, especially if you're watching this. We already know this. But this is kind of new news to me. I didn't even realize how bad it is. The more I'm digging into this, the worse it actually is. It's horrible. GRAS stands for, you know, generally recognized as safe. It was originally created so that common ingredients like salt and baking soda, things that have already been used, you know, safely for centuries, wouldn't need lengthy approval processes. But as we know, through corruption, through lobbying, over time, food manufacturers twisted the system to their advantage. What? They twisted the system? No way. They put the food pyramid on the back of the bags. They have cool advertisements. They wouldn't do that to us. The government wouldn't do that to us. Oh yeah, they would. They would do that and a whole lot worse. And I think most people are aware of that now. Like the people who have their heads so far up there, or so far in the sand that only their, you know, maybe their toenails are sticking out. That's those people who don't understand what's actually going on. So anyway, how has GRAS been exploited? So self-approval by corporations. Instead of requiring independent scientific review, food companies can self-certify their own additives as safe. How did we allow this to happen? How did so many generations just walk around sleeping with just allowing this to go on? And it's just insane. So no FDA oversight is required if a company declares that their panel of experts approve it. Insane. Hidden chemicals in everyday foods. So this loophole has allowed thousands of new synthetic additives, emulsifiers, preservative. I don't even know what that is, emulsifiers, but it does not sound good at all. Preservatives and flavoring agents to be introduced into the food supply without rigorous testing. Many of these chemicals have never been studied for long-term health effects. What? Examples of harmful GRAS-approved additives. TBHQ. I'm going to try to say this. Tertiary buthylamine 1. Dude. A petroleum-based, that's delicious, a petroleum-based preservative used in frozen foods and snacks. Studies link it to immune system damage and increased risk of tumors. Doesn't that just sound delicious? BHT. Oh man, that sounds good. I love BHT. Everybody loves that at the nightclub. You know, you could do a bump of BHT. Oh man, butylated hydroxytoluene, a synthetic antioxidant found in cereals and processed meats. It's banned in Europe due to potential links to cancer. So you don't allow your teenager to smoke pot or drink beer or do drugs, right? But hey, here's some cereal. Here's some BHT, son. Here's some BHT, my 12-year-old daughter. Here you go, no problem. You see what I mean? I know that's not the intention of most people. They're not intentionally doing that. But we need to be more responsible in our lives, and we got to understand this is crazy. So in a synthetic antioxidant found in cereals and processed meats, it's banned in Europe due to potential links to cancer. So it's banned in Europe to eat, given to Americans. Okay? This is another tough one to say. Propylparaben, a preservative used in baked goods that has been linked to endocrine disruption and reproductive issues. Well, what do we have right now? We have a whole lot of reproductive issues. I mean, male sperm is going down dramatically. I'm sure women, it's all crazy. This is warfare. This is serious warfare, you guys. Titanium dioxide. Now, this thing is in everything, by the way. Look at your deodorant. Look at all makeups and everything. It is in everything. Titanium dioxide. It's like, what the heck is this stuff? Why is titanium probably small fragments of titanium in everything? So it's a whitening agent found in candies, chewing gum, and salad dressings. France has already banned it due to safety concerns. Okay, great. But that's not great for Americans. We need to get on this, man. Another one, potassium bromate, used in bread to improve dough elasticity, but classified as a possible human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC. Whoa, you guys, this is way worse than we ever thought, right? Good thing is, we have some people who are actually doing something about it now. RFK Jr., what is his plan? What happens next? RFK Jr. has directed the FDA to review and reform the GRAS system. His goal is to eliminate the self-approval loophole and require actual safety testing before chemicals can be added to food. This could mean a massive shakeup for big food, as thousands of artificial additives would no longer pass under the radar anymore. This is good news. So we seriously, truly need to consider making some changes in our own lives, in our own individual lives. So a lot of people, some people, not everybody, some people might be hearing this and they're like, you feel too far gone. You feel like it's too far gone, so it's too much to even want to really listen to this. It's like, well, what's the point of listening to this if it's already in the food and everything? Well, one person at a time. This RFK Jr., he is one person. And I know that he prayed for the last 20 years, he's been praying on his knees for an opportunity to make a difference. Well, this is what we need to be doing. We need to be asking for these opportunities now to be making differences. So this is crazy. This is another good thing, though. West Virginia's battle against artificial food dyes. So you might have seen this one in the news a little bit more, is that RFK Jr. is really going hardcore about really going after these food dyes, because these food dyes are in everything, and they are really stunting the development of young people, right? And probably adults, as we know. I mean, adults are actually more stupid than, I'm not saying young kids are stupid. Young people seem to be more intelligent a lot of times than adults. And man, it shouldn't be that way. There should be more wisdom in adults. And nowadays, most adults that you come across are less emotionally mature than children. Really. I meet kids, the children, and I live in Peru, which sometimes the children are actually more mature than the adults. And I know in the United States it's kind of the same thing. A lot of the times, right? Not every time, but it seems to be that way. And I wonder if it's because of just all this toxic chemicals. After years and years of this stuff, we are so emotionally out of balance because we're taking drugs. You're literally taking all these drugs in your food, and you're probably taking them in So like the actual illegal drugs are actually probably like the regular ones, the clean ones. I'm not talking about the crazy fentanyl and all that stuff, but just like it's probably more simple to understand the issue if you have an issue with that than this. Because let's say you're taking you're eating all this food with all these chemicals, and then you're taking prescription drugs on top of it that have probably all this stuff and more in it too. And people are so out of whack emotionally that they're not able to have children, which is breaking their emotional spirit as well. Women who cannot have children, or men who can't have children either, they can't feel like a man again. This is what we're dealing with, and this is what we need to get back to, a real normal state of humanity, because we're in a war. This is the real warfare. Forget all the other stuff. This is the real warfare we're in. West Virginia's battle against artificial food dyes. So West Virginia has passed a bill banning synthetic food dyes, red 40, yellow 5 and 6, blue 1 and 2. Look on the back of like any drink that you have, and you'll see one of those in there most likely. Big Soda and the processed food industry are flooding the state capitol with lobbyists to stop the ban. If I was up there, and I would probably be wanting to get involved in this, really. And but I'm doing what I can from right here, right now. We're a small channel. Subscribe if you can, so we can help grow this and really support RFK Jr. and what he's doing. So this is crazy, man. These lobbyists, like, how can you live with yourself? How can you take a job like that unless you're completely blackmailed? Unless these people are just completely in the dark. I don't want to say satanic and all this crazy stuff, because it's like, maybe not. Can't say that that's what it is. But definitely a lot of these people have just given up to their spirit and given their soul away to something else, to just flat out materialism. RFK Jr. is leading the charge, calling out the toxic ingredients in processed foods and pushing for real food transparency. Why are so many food additives banned in Europe but not in the U.S.? So the same foods in Europe have fewer ingredients, while the U.S. versions are filled with preservatives and chemicals. Europe bans thousands of harmful chemicals that the U.S. allows. Okay? And many believe the food industry in America is driven by profits, not public health. Makes you wonder. I'm not trying to be suspicious right now, but like a lot of the stuff that's been going on with Europe, I wonder if that's done on purpose. And I wonder if Europe does that, or like that this is like the warfare that's going on. China's sending fentanyl to kill people. Mexico's distributing it. So like fentanyl is making the poison. Mexico's the snake biting the people, killing the people. And then Europe is implementing this, which is, I don't know, it's just a theory, right? It does seem very strange. And I'm not saying just Europe in general, but the dark mafia of the world, the mafias of the world, right, who want to destroy the United States. So the truth about processed foods and health. So RFK Jr. states food is medicine, and what we eat directly impacts mental health, obesity, and disease. Highly processed foods contain high fructose corn syrup, which is in everything linked to diabetes and obesity, artificial dyes linked to ADHD and behavioral issues. And then their solution, remember, to ADHD was give them methamphetamine in a pill. Can we really please get out of this insanity? Because it's just beyond crazy. You can't even get you really can't even. As I'm saying it like this, doesn't it sound really nuts? And if you were in this, or your parents were giving you this, and they didn't know you, but we all need to forgive each other. Nobody's perfect. It's all fine. But I'm just saying, right now, looking at it like this, doesn't that sound so crazy and insane, right? That potentially these artificial dyes were causing ADHD in children, and then the solution to them was to give methamphetamine pills, which is Ritalin, Adderall, etc. Seed oils linked to inflammation and heart disease. So these seed oils, like we talked about in earlier episodes, are motor oil used for like machines and stuff. And then it smells good, probably because there's who knows what kind of drugs. I haven't even really been able to do a deep dive yet on this. The food industry profits off of addiction and sickness, keeping people in a cycle of bad health and medication dependency. Okay, so this is just very interesting. I'm just glad that somebody's out there at least, trying, and he's in government right now, and we got a chance over this next 4 years to really bring things back to where they should be. And I don't think they've been normal for quite a long time, at least since I was born. I mean, they had like the food pyramid and stuff, and they were on their way. And I'm sure, like in the '80s, putting crap in the food. This is something that's definitely been going on, but it's for sure ramped up in the last 20 years. Way worse, and it's unacceptable. And yeah, it's definitely time to get this titanium dioxide out of everything. And yeah, it's time to make a change. So do you think this move will force the food industry to change? Do you think things are going to change? Do you think enough people are waking up? Do you think enough people care right now? If you think people need to wake up a little bit, send them this video. I know it's kind of raw and it's a little bit edgy and kind of like, well, who is this guy? Well, at least I'm reading real stuff that's going on. So I do have my own opinions in here, sink in here, whatever. If you don't like it all, just take what you like, take what you need, and leave the rest. But I'm telling you, this information needs to start getting out here. We need to start doing something about it. And I'm open to suggestions. Please comment below. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Austin Zest. Peace.